Yay. Namaste, everybody. It's such a pleasure to be here. My name is AISHWARIYA, and I'll be presenting today on the Yamas and Niyamas, and we'll be practicing the Plavini Kriyas, which is this beautiful floating action, as well as the Moksha Kriya, which is a freeing action. So before I dive into it, of course, we're going to invoke Lord Ganesha, the gurus, and offering my thanks. Om Tat Ganeshaya Vitmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tano Dantihi Prachodayate Om Tatparam Paryaya Vitmahe Jnanalingeshwaraya Dhimahi Tano Guruhu Prachodayate Om. Salutations to Swami Purnananda, Swami Vivideshananda, Swami Kanakananda, Swami Gitananda, our beloved Amaji, our amazing Dr.Ananda ji, and Divyananandraj. I also wanted to thank the amazing superwoman Kalavati for organizing this and getting us all together. Any excuse to get together, that's yoga, union, joining us all together, and manifesting everything that the Paramparaya has given us. I also wanted to thank everybody who's participating, my mentors, the mentors, senior mentors, younger mentors. For what I've seen so far, I just feel really inspired by those I already know, by those that I know less. And this is really special, so thank you. So I'm going to attempt the screen share. And please let me know if you see it. That's okay? Wonderful. Okay. So when Kalavati talked about doing this online yoga festival, the Gitananda Yoga Festival, the first thing that came to mind was the Yamas and Niyamas, because I just find them extremely useful, and I'm so happy that Jnana Sundari is here, because the first time that I met her at the ashram, and it's something that we hear often, but when it's something that's lived, it has a completely different meaning. And she just took the time to really explain how foundation is important. And so that stayed with me forever, and I am forever grateful for this. Because when we talk about yoga, generally we talk about asanas and pranayama and everything that comes after. And somehow Yama Niyama is forgotten, but to me it's essential and the basis. And Padma had just shared something from the step-by-step in the early lessons, and again it's going back to the basis, and it made me realize or remember that Swamiji had talked about again the importance of doing the basics, but also that yoga brings about whoever or whatever you are. Um, so it's in our interest to refine and work on ourselves through the yamas and niyamas so that the asanas and the pranayamas and everything that follows is more effective and beneficial. Of course, there's pictures of Amaji here with her primary eaglet, so Dr. Nandaji, and then her secondary ones chronologically, Divya and Anandraj. And Amaji always offering, always thinking of everyone else first and giving. She's the eternal mother, and I I wouldn't be able to talk about any of this if it wasn't for her, if it wasn't for everything that she's given us all. So I'm very aware of this, very grateful, and I hope to do her justice. As well, we have the whole paramparaya over here in the lineage, that continuity that keeps on going with Dr. Nanda talking about the sharing and caring. In his opening address for the Gitananda online yoga festival, he talked about being aware of why we do what we do. So here's my declaration of intent, or presenting Swamiji's, Dr. Nandaji, and Amaji's. So Swamiji said, health and happiness are your birthrights. So it's not something that is something that you feel like you have, you work towards it, but it's something that not is owed to you, but it is a right. So you have to claim it. So it's not even just a goal, it's a birthright. And I thought that was really an interesting distinction. And then he goes on to say that spiritual realization is your goal, pursue it. And Dr. Anandaji goes even further, saying that self realization isn't enough. We have to go through transcendence, which is very apt for this festival because I'm very comfortable being in my corner and just absorbing everything, and I'm very happy with that. And being in front and presenting is less comfortable for me, but this is what we have to do, and I understand the importance of that more and more. So to enable others to experience the same ecstasy, which is why I'm happy to do this today. And then Amaji seems to be akin to Sage Patanjali because all she says is be good and do right. And so there are 5 little words that encapsulate everything, and we'll see how and why. So Amaji had written a series of poems, and the title of the book was A Flight of the Alone to the Alone, which at 1920 I thought it was particular. I didn't really understand. I could understand that the alone, the individual soul merging with the universe, and we become all one. But that was just it's playing with ideas, but nothing really concrete for me. And as I age and gain in life experience, then I'm starting to understand that it's really the journey from the small self to the higher self, and then merging with the rest. And I always have and have had so many questions. So, Koham, who am I? What is Dharma? What is karma? How, who, what, when, where, why? And this is basically the start of a spiritual journey. We are sadhakas, seekers of truth. What is truth? And I wanted to talk about yoga in Indian culture. Dr. Ananda had done some work with cultural appropriation and not misappropriation. No, it was cultural. I forget the name now, but it's going to come back to me. And I understood the beauty of Indian culture. Um, but with time, it's becoming more and more clear. And in working on this presentation, also just things that are kind of obvious but not aware. So all this has come up to the forefront. Um, so the link between yoga and Indian culture is becoming more and more clear. And there's this side of refinement that's there. Because I find that Indian culture has answers to everything. So you can find it in the Bhagavad Gita. There is this approach of iti, iti, niti, niti. So iti, iti means I am everything. So you can name everything and you can identify to them, this is who you are. Or niti, niti is another approach where you go through a definition of who you are through process of elimination. I am not this, I am not that. And there's a beautiful shloka addressed to this, and it just gets me every time. You have the Upanishads, the Vedas, Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. And to me, I just find it exhilarating when Amaji, Swamiji, Dr. Sir talk about it all. They live it, they breathe it, and they teach it. Yoga is born from Indian culture, and why is that important? In Western culture, there is a fostering of the I-ness, the individual. Eastern culture fosters a sense of an awareness of the other, and we're moving more towards that we-ness. And in Dr.Ananda's opening statement, he talked about that word yam. I don't know if I wrote it right or not, but it's that I that includes a we. So I'm definitely never alone. We are together. And without the acknowledgement of something greater and possibly more important than just ourselves, I have experienced poorness. Um, and in this culture, I just find it a real shame. In this culture, the Western culture, less and less so. Um, it's it's an emptiness inside that can be so easily remedied. So my mom's Indonesian, my father's French. I grew up in Canada, um, and traveling to Indonesia at different ages or stages when I was a child. And then France, it was just really interesting. Or for me, I was shocked with the imbalance of both material and spiritual wealth. So my family in France had a lot of material wealth, but it felt very empty and poor inside. Whereas my Indonesian family didn't have that much material wealth, but it was just so full and loving, and the inner life was bustling. And that gave me a sense of, we'll see it later, but something we call purnam, that fullness. And another example of the beauty of Indian culture is that even in order to worship the divine, you have to ask its permission. And Amaji was very clear about that. And I find that their behavior and the way they hold themselves is irreproachable. But we have to make an effort to even, check ourselves, make sure that um, we're careful with our own character, the way that we speak, the way that we act, even what we think, in order to even approach them and be able to touch their feet. So that's I don't find that in Western culture here, and that incredible refinement to me is again very filling, very beautiful, and it adds so much dimension to our existence. So we bow down and we thank the whole parampara for all the gifts that they're giving us, just these concepts are thanks to their sharing and their efforts. And we're just so lucky to be part of it. Expressing gratitude. Namaji said, one's capacity for gratitude is a great mark of someone's personality, to be able to recognize that something was given to us. So why am I doing this? Why the yamas and niyamas? There's the fact that we're in Kali Yuga. I'm someone who's extremely sensitive, and it's important to surround yourself with satsang. So a gathering of people who are interested in pursuing that truth, who have that refinement, who are in the process of refining themselves. But also, that's it. Yeah, there are many health benefits, and I just talked about that concept of Purnam as opposed to perfection, because there's a great reach for perfection, which ends up being a vicious circle. But that just that concept of like Western perfection versus Eastern fullness, they're completely different things and serve us so much better when we aim to just feel full from the inside. We're going to talk about Dharma and how is that helpful. In psychology, we see that when our life has meaning, when it has purpose, you reach that happiness. It gives you clarity, it gives you orientation. And Swamiji always encouraged us not to believe what he said, and not to necessarily challenge it, but not to blindly believe. And that's in the beginning, that's what hooked me with with Swamiji. But Amaji is the same, Dr.Ananda is the same. And so we get to feel for ourselves, and this is also why I'm happy and excited to talk about this with you, is that once we start understanding these things and living them, and this is what I wish for everyone, is to experience that ultimate truth, that chit, that wisdom, and that gives you anandam, that fullness. So I want you to feel happy too. I want to be able to share that exaltation that I feel when I read Swamiji, when I listen to Amaji, when I watch Dr. Sir, and marvel at Div and Anandraj, and my whole Gitananda Yoga family. This is a picture of Amaji and Dr. Nandaji to just always keep in mind everything that they do and how selfless they are and what they're carrying, and do our part in order to help in whichever way we can. And when I came to Amaji, I was 19, pretty young, I didn't know how big my ego was. And I didn't really understand much the first time I did the 6-month course. And Kalavati can attest to that. We were three. It was Kalavati, myself, and Shankara. We were three doing the 6 months course, and I thought everything was amazing. And when I did the 6-month course the second time, things really opened up to me. And there are many things that I remember Amaji saying and not understanding. And I just thought, okay, so Amaji used to say, 6.7 billion human beings on the planet, each with their own unique stories, trials, and tribulations. And I was just so focused. I didn't know it. I was just so focused on myself. And she would say these things. I'm like, wow, why is she interested in the rest of the world? And I haven't ever come across anybody who's as knowledgeable as the Bhavanani family, but also extremely grounded, humble, and still trying to do better. Again, Indian culture, yoga. Now I'm starting to understand why. They're elevated, complex concepts, as diverse as each and every human that has existed and exists. And yoga offers so many avenues to help us along our human existence, because life can be hard. But I thought this was really interesting that even the deities are jealous of our human experience. They're not incarnate, they cannot experience. And Amaji used to tell us, be grateful for your human incarnation. Sometimes we can get down and out, but then we can just think of all the incarnations we had to get through to get to who we are today. And then we can develop a sense of gratitude and recognition of everything that we've had to do to be here now. And we've had many discussions with Amaji and with Radu, my husband, working things out. And she told us, when life gets difficult, just have to remember that it was never meant to be easy. And in Amaji's typical humor, ask the dinosaurs. So they're all extinct. That might happen to all of us. So not to worry. As Dr.Ananda says, yoga is yoga is yoga. And that's one of the first things that I remember Kalavati saying. We were just the first month at the ashram, we just have to come up with so many definitions of yoga. And at one point, Kalavati just said, well, it's this, it's that. Well, yoga's everything. And it is. It brings everything together, and it's everything. So there are so many paradoxes where in yoga, but it all is true. Like a small truth, two small truths can seem to contradict themselves, but a greater truth incorporates them. And I think it was Walt Whitman who said that. Amaji told us. I contradict myself very well, then I contradict myself. I am large, I contain multitudes. So things can seem paradoxical and cancel each other out, whereas it's all true, so it's okay. And like Amaji always encourages this, everything's important, do it well. And then it's at the same time, on the other end, it's nothing's important, don't worry about it. And that just gives me a sense of something very rich and profound. So when we talk about health or salutogenesis, a word that I also love a lot, I think Nyandev was doing a session on yoga chikitsa. With the yogic approach, or the swast approach, it takes everything into context. So your physical being, your emotional being, your mental being, spiritual being, and then merging with that to universal being, knowing that all these aspects of ourselves is all true, and health happens when everything is coherent. And the yamas and niyamas help us tremendously in living a coherent life. It's also an assurance, or it's almost like, for me, a life insurance. So you can have so much doubt, you have so little control over anything really, but if you follow the yamas and niyamas to the best of your ability, I feel like at the end of the day, I can look at myself in the mirror. I can say that I've made the best effort that I could, and whatever else is just completely out of my control. Again, the richness of yoga and Indian culture, the concepts of the panchakoshas. So I know that a lot of mentors have already shared that, so I won't go too much into it. And Swamiji and Amaji's fivefold awareness, so the fourfold awareness, but then just becoming aware of the fact that we're unaware to begin with, so that we can make that change. So much information, so much diversity. So then it can be a bit overwhelming. So how? step by step, and remembering that before fusion, there's confusion. So that's normal. And if you get a bit lost, that's okay. Just come back again to Sage Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga. Remembering that we start with Yama Niyama. And then we're going to get into it. And when you start the yamas and yamas, there's just a few little things to keep in mind is three, like awareness at all levels. So what do I look at? I look at my thoughts. I look at my speech, what do I say? What comes out of my mouth? And I look at the way that I act. And Swamiji always encouraged us to have that, again, that sense of coherence. So I say what I think and I do what I say. So it's just that's why Amaji always said, you don't go to a yoga class and you don't do yoga 1 hour a week or two. It is 24/7, even in your sleep, because you have that vairagya within yourself where you watch yourself, you analyze, you always kind of keep it in check. And that's yoga is skill in action. In order to do all this, it's a lot, but that's the work and the joy. When we're going to look at the yamas, the 10 yamas and niyamas, just to keep in mind the 3 dimensions of relationship, where it's interpersonal, my relationship with others, intrapersonal, my relationship with myself, and transpersonal, my relationship with the universe, the divine, whatever you want to call it. And Amaji asked us to never identify, never judge, and never justify. And when I was younger, I like playing with ideas. I like playing with concepts, and I like that challenge because to be able to do all that without identifying, without judging, without justifying, it's a constant and beautiful work. So Amaji said in her 5 words, this is 2 of them, do right. What does do right mean? How do I know that I am doing right? So the 5 yamas are how to act. And yamas are loosely translated as restraints. The first one, order is always very important. That sense of order, that sense of place. As much as life can seem chaotic, for me to know that the universe is benevolent, is very organized. I may not see how or why, but that's one deep belief that I do have. And the first yama is ahimsa. So himsa, harm, that English word I'm pretty sure comes from Sanskrit. So ahimsa, to not do harm. And if we go back to those relationships, I have to make sure not to harm anybody with either my thoughts, my word, my speech, or my actions. But similarly, I have to make sure that nobody hurts me in those 3 ways. As much as I have to make sure that whatever is going on inside of me, my thoughts or my actions don't hurt me. So that responsibility is there at all levels. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows the 5 yamas and niyamas, but for me, what would be interesting is for you to ask yourselves and think about them. What does it mean to me? Satya, that sat was very close to that. That is that's that reality, what is there. And that's a lifetime of work. And Amaji would say, speak the truth, speak the pleasant truth, speak the truth pleasantly and do not speak the truth unpleasantly. And that's also a beautiful practice. But you also have to be true to yourself. And so sometimes when you have to, in relationships, say something that hurt you, you can try to say it in a pleasant way. And you can expect for people to do that too. Sat, we can see that word in Sat Sangha versus Kusanga. Be careful with who you associate. Make sure that they lift you up and that you lift them up. Asteya, so steya, steel. This again applies on so many levels. So every day, what is my intention? What do I do? How do I do it? And respecting other people's space. Of course, we're talking just a gross material things. That's an obvious thing, but also when somebody does something well, give them credit. You know, stealing somebody's name is something deeply hurtful. And I know that everybody's very careful with that. Brahmacharya, Brahma, the creator, so the mastery of what we're going to do with that energy. So every time that you start your day, choosing what you're going to focus on. Is it going to be helpful to you? Is it going to be hurtful to you, to anybody? Is it in line with that greater truth? Am I stealing somebody's time? Am I stealing my own time? Aparigraha is non-greed, graha, greed. Again, I think the more we give, the more we get. And it's not, you don't give to get, but just being aware of that is kind of a game changer. We don't need to have everything, whether it's material, whether it's, we have everything inside of ourselves. And so, you know, that could go into jealousy or, you know, just feeling, and that they're human emotions, they're normal. But it was a saying like, you know, be careful what you're jealous of with someone, because, you know, would you trade your life with that person? Because it's not just one aspect, it's everything. Along with that, you have the klesha, so ignorance, egoism, attachment, aversion, and that clinging to life. So just again, keep having these in mind. And just, I loved it when Amaji talked about the ego. She would just say, the ego is dull, inert, and heavy. And sometimes we feel that way. And I loved Balananda's honesty and openness when she talked about how she started getting together and during COVID, and how everybody just felt, oh, that's a reality. And that's a beauty of getting together and uplifting. That's satsanga. Thank you. The 5 niyamas, that's Amaji's second part of be good. So what do we cultivate? That sense of cleanliness, contentment, discipline, swadhyaya, awareness of ourselves, and in this case, the time. Ishwara Pranidhana, surrendering yourself to something higher. And things that can help us along the journey are compassion, uprightness, kshama, that patience with ourselves, dhriti, steadfastness, mitahara. So how we eat. Anandi is going to do something on that. Quick reminder of the spiritual laws of the universe. You can try to break the law, but you'll find that you only break yourself over the law, as Swamiji said. And yeah, he talked about the school of hard knocks, and I was very younger. I was very pig-headed, and so I learned sometimes the hard way. how I break myself over the loss. Now I'm more careful. And Amaji added in the morning arti, Ayam Dukam Managatam. And I really love that. It's avoiding those miseries which have not yet come. How? By looking at the yamas and niyamas and trying to see what they mean to us. The koshas, but the concept of nara. So, how to avoid that misalignment? Again, it's by trying to embody the yamas and niyamas. Dharma. I remember desperately trying to understand in my 20s what my dharma is. It sounds like such a huge, important thing. What's my life purpose? Like, I don't know. And Dr.Ananda had explained through physiology, he's like, a liver cell is a liver cell. And if a liver cell tries to be a thyroid cell, then it's just going to get things out of balance. And somehow for that just made a lot of sense to me. So the human body is kind of like the whole universe, and everybody has its place in it. And no one is better at being who you are than you. That just seems obvious, but sometimes we just need to hear it. And you are not only the perfect person for the job, but you are the only person for the job. So our destiny is in our own hands, and everybody has their place. And that's what Swamiji said, that's your life and purpose, your goal and purpose. Know who you are and become it, and become the best you that you can be. Karma. I'm going to skip through this, but I just like the idea of may noble thoughts come to us from every side. We just want to attract beautiful, nice things. In order to do all this, Divya had already talked about the three Shaktis. But we need those different energies to be able to do good, to know what to do, and have the will to do it. So everything coming together. And just a small thing of bit of encouragement. Amaji always reassured me that any effort that I make, it's never in vain and it's recorded. And that was just really helpful, and to know that the universe is benevolent. And another quick view on the yamas and yamas, you could take the last one. So Tapaswadhyaya, Ishwar Pranidhana is a Kriya yoga, and they purify the heart. So just cultivating a positive attitude. And as Dr. Sir says, keep your nose between your knees. In Dharmika Asana, let's just focus on ourselves. There's so much work that I need to do that I'm not going to get involved in anything else, really. And a beautiful word from Amaji that I just always need a lot of reassurance and abhaya, fear not, let go, let God. And she always said, sorry, be kind to everyone you meet because they are fighting a hard battle. So why not be kind? So acknowledging life's demands, let's try to cultivate a sense of lightness and freedom so we can best work towards our own accountability and integrity with the kriyas that we're about to do. And I thought these images were kind of nice in actively not just having these concepts up there, but embodying them with the Plavini Kriya and the Moksha Kriya. In that first picture, you can see it's like they're just kind of floating and flying through life. And that Amaji is always there for us and with us and supporting us. Remember, discover, and evoke who you are, a reflection of the divine. So with that, I've actually asked Govind to help me with the Plavini Kriyas. I'm just going to check, he should be here. Um, I just wanted to go over the movements for those who may not know them, so that Govind's always going to be here to show you what the movements are. But maybe we can go over them. And for me, I have a weak abdominal wall, so the Danda Kriya is a bit hard for me to do. So I can just show you a variation, but I just wanted you to have a nice example of what to do. So the Ekapada Uttanasana Asana. So you can lift, just as an example, the right leg, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and breathe out, lowering the leg, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to do it. I'm just showing you what we're doing, what the movements are, so that when you're lying down, you may not have to look all the time. The Ekabhuja Uttanasana, so that's the arm lifting. So you can breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Shirshuttanasana, lifting the head, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And as you breathe out, let the head come down. And then we're going to do one arm and one leg, but opposites. So we're going to start with the right leg and the left arm. So breathing in for count of 6. And breathing out for count of 6. There we go. And then we do the, this is the double leg lift. We Pada Uttanasana. So lifting both legs for count of 6 on an in breath, and breathing out, bringing the legs down. And then the Danda Asana. So he's going to come up, the whole body up, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the hands up, and breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to do the Navasana. So leg and arms up, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I just want to give you an alternative to protect your back. So for the Danda Asana, if you have difficulty like I do, and it comes to doing that, you can breathe in, come up onto your elbows, and continue by pushing your hands and then coming up. It's a nice way of doing it if ever it becomes difficult for the abdominal region. The Nava Asana also, what you could do is come up onto the elbows, bring the legs up, or you could just stay down and bend the knees and come up and come down. So these are alternatives to, but in order to be able to do the movement as well. So when you're ready, you can come down onto the mat. So we really, as you're getting installed, it's just at a cellular level, really trying to free up and lighten up yourself from the inside. So it should be really nice and comfortable. You can start in Shavasana, so heels touching, arms alongside the body, and have a beautiful emphasis on just feeling good, comfortable, at ease. It should be really nice. So if ever you need to modify the movements one way or another, please feel free to do so. You can become aware of the points of contact of the body with the ground and to cultivate a sense of ease. Sukha, Sukha Sthiramasana. And we're going to start always with the right, with the Ekapada Uttanasana, right side. When you're ready, breathe in, lift the leg, right leg, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and breathe out, bringing the leg down, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, right side, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more time on this side. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take a little break. Again, being present with yourself. And we're going to do the left leg. And let's start with the next in-breath. Bring the left leg up, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, left leg, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One last time. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax, enjoy, become aware of the different body sensations, and fostering again a sense of floating ease. And we're going to continue with the Shirshuttanasana, so lifting the head. And starting with an in-breath, lift the head, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, breathing in, 2, lifting the head, 3, 4, 5, 6, lowering the head, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And one last time, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to move on to the arms. Ekabhuja Uttanasana, starting with the right arm, harmonizing movement and breath. Let's start with the next in breath. Breathe in, lift the right arm, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bring the arm back down. Breathe out, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One last time. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Left arm now. Breathing in, lift the left arm. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One last time. Lift the arm, breathing in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. Take a moment. Next, what we're going to do is lift the right leg alongside the opposite arm. So let's get ready with the next in-breath. Breathe in, lift the right leg and the left arm together. Excellent. 3, 4, 5, 6. And breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more times. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One last time. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. Let's get ready for the opposite side. So we're going to lift the left leg and the right arm. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One last time. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax for a few moments. Congratulating yourselves for being here, taking care of your body, taking care of the emotions, taking care of the mind, and just being present, cultivating that sense of purnam, wholeness, where you already have everything that you need inside of you. We'll continue with the Dvipada Uttanasana, so both legs together with the next in-breath. Breathing in, lift both legs. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One last time. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. Let's take a time to release the beautiful balance between effort and relaxation. And continuing with the Dvibhuja Uttanasana, so both arms at the same time. Let's start breathing in, lift both arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One last time. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. We're going to move on to the Dandasana, so lifting the whole body as best you can in whichever form that you can. Let's start breathing in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just the upper body. And again, breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One last time. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And take a moment to relax. You're doing excellent. This is very beautiful. Move on to the Nava Asana in whichever form you can do. Lifting both the body, legs, and arms. And when you're ready, breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more times. We're nearly there. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One last time, just like a boat floating alongside the water. Breathing in 3, 4, 5, 6, and out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. And now you can really just completely let go of effort, knowing that you've put in the work, and now it's time to do nothing. Just take the time to savor this moment, the fruits of your labor. And we're trying to understand and incorporate, bring into our bodies those yamas and niyamas, which is everything. It's all of life, trials, tribulations, success. And with the Moksha Kriya, the idea again is just to release. Yoga again teaches us that dynamic relationship between what's going on in our heads, the psychosomatic, and how it affects our bodies. And so here, the beauty of yoga is that sometimes we use the body to positively affect what's going on in our minds, what's going on with our emotions. So we want to let go of any cellular memory that has encapsulated trauma. So in a very active and proactive way, we want to be able to release that trauma. Again, giving us a chance to be more light, be more full of vitality, so that we can do the important job, which is our Dharma, which belongs only to us. And in order to do that, sometimes we just have to let go of some baggage. And this is what the Moksha Kriya is about, just releasing. noticing, and then letting go, accepting to let go. So, the first part of the Moksha Kriya is if you can bring back to mind an event that was traumatic to you. It need not be something huge or little, whatever affected you, that's enough. So you can bring it back to memory, something that was powerful but still impacted you. It could be as far as you want. And we're going to try to be specific about where this was, who the participants were. And you're going to imagine this event taking place on the palms of your hands. You can turn the palms up and just remember absolutely everything about this event, the environment, what was said or done. So the smells, the colors, the temperature, the emotions. And once you've remembered it all, you can take the time to breathe in and then gently lift the hands up to the sky as though they are holding the event up. And here you consciously release the event in whichever way that works for you. You could make a gesture of throwing it out, shaking, even making a whoosh. And once that's done, and you feel satisfied with the releasing, you can lower the arms back to your side. For the second part, you're going to bring to memory the person that you blame for the event. It can be more than one person. And again, in the palm of your hands, you can visualize whoever it was, trying to remember as much as possible of what the person said or did, possibly what they were wearing, the sound of their voice, the actions, the smells, the colors, noises, what it felt like to touch, even to taste. And in the palms of the hands, we're going to lift this memory up again and release it. Let it go. Actively throw it out. You don't need it anymore. And when you feel satisfied with that, you can bring the arms back down. And for the third part, you can think of yourself and how you were in that moment at that time and place, and place that self into the palms of your hand. And again, without judgment, without justification, you can ask yourself what role you played, as we have to take some responsibility because we are part of the event. How did you feel? What did you say or do? Again, being very clear on all the details, placing them into your hands. And a third time, lifting the hands to release the blame that is ours. Again, with the throwing action, the whoosh, whatever helps you the best. And once that's done, you can bring the arms back alongside the body. And for this beautiful last part, in the palms of your hands, you can create this beautiful, positive self. You can visualize yourself as how you would like to be, who you would like to be. And you can go into all the details that suit you. It can be visual, it can be auditory. This is your part. And you can be as creative as you want. Create the self you would like to live, the way that you would like to be with others, whatever role it is that you have. Following Amaji's be good. What does good look like to you? How do you become cheerful, confident, happy, generous, thoughtful, equal minded? And visualize a realistic image as complete as possible. And realize the full vision at a physical, mental, and emotional level. And when you've created that self image, lift up your hands and keep them up and open. And here you're going to breathe in deeply and feel the power of that image flood down your arms into your whole body. Absorb it into every cell of the body. Mentally accept this image. And this image will have a beautiful positive effect and become real. And you can feel warm and beautiful and light. And when you feel that you've accomplished this, gently, very carefully, lower your arms back down. And while you're still lying down, just wanted to chant the Shivoham, 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 Soham, Sat Chit Ananda, Swarupo Ham. So I am that Shiva, I am that goodness. Soham, that is who I am, truly. Sat, that beautiful truth. Chit, that incredible wisdom. And Anandam, that beautiful bliss. That is the form of who I am in my body, of my emotional body, of my mental body. Shivoham, 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 Soham, Satchitanandam Swaruham, Shivoham, 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 Soham, Satchitananda Swarupoham, Shivoham, 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 Soham, Sachitananda Swarupoham Shivoham 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 Soham Om. Gently moving back with a beautiful in-breath into the body. You can gently bend the right knee, lift the left arm, and gently turn on the side and take a few moments on the side, giving the body a chance to adjust to the new position. And with the next incoming breath, you can turn over to Uttanasana, giving again the chance for the body to adjust to the new position. And when you're ready, placing the hands under the shoulders, with the next in-breath, coming up into Bhujangasana, sitting back down, stretching out. And with the next in-breath, coming back up. And I just wanted to congratulate you. I feel very proud. And as much as I feel proud, I feel very thankful for you being with me today. If you have any questions, please let me know. We don't have to talk.
I just want to say you're incredible for fitting all of that into one lesson. That was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I was in Plavini Kriya thinking, how is she going to get Moksha Kriya in?
And not feeling rushed. I never felt rushed.
No.
It was wonderful. Wonderful. Very, very wonderful.
I feel thankful. And I feel like I had all of your help and support, and that means the world to me. So thank you.
Wonderful.
Should we end with a Loka Samasta just to have a nice ending? Loka Samasta Sukhinu Bhavantu Sarve Janah Sukhinu Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Is it okay?